Jure Koscak. Fascinating discussion with Jure. Raised in former Yugoslavia, now Slovenia. All his rearing age before 18 were all there. We find out a lot about him, driven. His parents were hard workers, seldom in the home, and what drove him. He was always very solution-oriented, right? Tried to find solutions, played a lot of sports outside, found a passion eventually for table tennis, became nationally, internationally, I should say, ranked, but had a hip injury and learned the hard way how to slow down. Moved to Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, almost 15 years ago, where he also just learned to slow down. Now he helps other athletes in just that, in learning how to, we talk about trying to understand the self-conscious, talk about what it's like to slow down and to see everything. And fascinating insight and viewpoint on how Jure did it and how he helps others with it. Really enjoyed my conversation, Jure. Thank you so much, Jure. Appreciate it. And thank you. Watch and listen. Hi, I'm Joey Pinz, and here's my 45-second introduction. After starting my business in the 90s, I started developing poor habits of eating in my diet because of working way too much. Before you know it, I found myself 340 pounds. The doctor told me if I don't lose the weight, I'm not going to see my daughter graduate. Took the next 7 months, lost 130 pounds. People think there's some secret. Ask me, how'd you lose that weight? Like there's some secret. There is no secret. How did I lose the weight? Just one word: discipline. I've had other successes in life, and I attribute them all to discipline. Now, I'm not the king of discipline, but I believe that it can help all of us. Friends, colleagues convinced me to start a podcast. The podcast mission: how do we better ourselves and society? I talk to interesting people in health, fitness, sport, wellness, business, technology, science, art, and culture. And I eventually ask them how discipline plays a role in their life. Podcast vision: growth through learning from others. Jure Koscak, thank you for your time. What's your favorite spy series? You're into spy series.
Yes, I like all the series or the Hercule Poirot detective kind of style. I like those kind of things. Spy, I don't know, CIA, all these things happening around the world. Then Tehran, the Apple series. I like this kind of intriguing kind of thriller. I don't like horror. I don't like... I even don't like romantic Hallmark movies because I get so emotional. So I prefer spy because that's where I can, intellectually approach.
In this fast-paced MSP landscape, how do you stay ahead? Introducing MSPinfluencer.com, your ultimate hub for MSP news, insights, and community connection, powered by Forza Dash. More than 75,000 MSPs subscribe to our MSP Influencer Pulse weekly newsletter, staying informed and ahead of industry trends. Tune in to emerging podcasts from Joey Pinz and leading MSP voices, offering essential tips, powerful insights, and success stories. Explore our multi-authored blogs, crafted specifically for MSP leaders, delivering fresh perspectives and actionable strategies. Celebrate excellence with the industry-leading Forza Dash MSP Influencer Awards, recognizing innovation, leadership, and impact in the MSP community. Join thousands of MSP professionals who trust MSPinfluencer.com to grow their business and expand their networks. MSPinfluencer.com, where today's MSP leaders connect, collaborate, and conquer, all powered by the Forza Dash platform, helping MSP vendors work effectively with MSPs and helping MSPs grow. So there's a kind of a puzzle, and you have to help solve it. That's what you like.
Yeah. I'm like in it. I'm solving it. I'm looking what's gonna happen next. In emotional movies, I know. Why is he like that? Why is she thinking? I'm like emotionally intrigued. That's my default. I help people, emotionally. So
Right. You follow. So you're in Punta Cana now, Dominican Republic.
Yes.
What's a perfect morning look like there? It's so beautiful there.
Oh, waking up early. That's depending. If it's winter time, it's around 6 because the sunrise is around 7. If it's summertime, the sunrise is around 6. So I need to wake up at 5. And then I go to the beach, which takes me about 10 to 15 minutes. I come to the beach, no one's there, no one. The most amazing beach. I don't know why people don't go to the beach in the morning. And I just have the whole ocean, the whole sunrise just for me, and the birds and the palm trees. And I do exercises, I meditate, I go in the water, or I just sit, write. I take a lot of photos, videos.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
And you're not answering emails or texting or...
No, I have in my mind, I need to send this sunrise to someone. Later, Jure, not now. Focus on yourself.
So tell me about yourself before the age of 18, Jure. What were you like? What drove you back then? Were you solving puzzles then too?
Um, yes, I can take you back to the age of 5 when I already formed the football team in my backyard.
Really?
um, because I wanted to be a leader. I always felt I needed to be sometimes somehow like that. And I have a memory that I was 5, 6 years of age, and I was observing my dad how he is a father, and that like getting notes in my mental side that I'm gonna be a father one day, which I am going to be in a matter of weeks. So
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. So being curious, outgoing, adventurous, just a kid, playing in the backyard. We had a big park that was connected to 30-ish houses with a backyard, and then in the middle was a park, and then it was another backyard and houses. So we were playing all the time there. We were playing baseball. We were playing catch me, football, soccer, that is. So all games. Yeah, and when
Hmm.
I was 18, I just wanted to win. I just wanted to win a girl. I just wanted to win a table tennis match.
You're naturally competitive?
Yeah, yeah, all the time. Winning was the main goal, whether it was riding a bike, whether it was throwing darts, whatever, winning.
And siblings, brothers and sisters, where are you?
Older sister.
You're also younger. Yeah. Yeah. So were you competing with her? Did she drive you?
No, because we have almost 7 years of difference.
Ah,
It was more, I don't know, my parents were quite permissive.
huh.
I had rules and stuff, but I just went my way. I think my soul, my destiny, my character is so strong,
Hmm.
not in the ego sense, but my drive that
Right.
I don't think anyone could retain or obtain me.
And why table tennis? Where'd you get your love there? You're world ranked at one point?
um, I was playing football at the age of 6, 7 that's soccer in a big club, like famous club in our hometown of 15,000 inhabitants population. But then I got a flyer to join a table tennis club because the table tennis club that was in the end of 80s. Oh my God. Yeah, that was in 89, something like that. And the club was just searching for new pupils, new
Hmm.
people to play table tennis. And well, I went there, I played, and I already played it in the summer camp in the Croatian seaside. I played a bit of table tennis, so it's like, oh, I like this. And then I came home a couple of times from both classes, from the football and then from table tennis. And my mom said, you're you come dirty. You come all grass. Your clothes are all green from football. If you come from table tennis, you're clean. I would rather that you stick there. That's my anecdote, and that's what I remember. And so I stuck with table tennis. In a financial way, unfortunately, maybe I would be good in football, but in table tennis, I did achieve a lot. I could more if I would implement what I know now, but that's my journey.
Hmm. It's a great sport, isn't it? There was a movie, Bruce Almighty. What was the name of the movie that was up for an Oscar recently?
No, that's what's the guy,
Yeah,
the Shamel Timothée
yeah, Timothy
Chalamet played
Chalamet.
it. Yeah, he
Yeah,
played this guy, the Marty Supreme.
Marty Supreme. Yes, sorry,
Yeah.
where did I get that from? Yeah, yeah. I haven't seen a table tennis movie in a long time. Did you like the movie?
Uh, yes and no. It's too much AI. And I know a guy who's lived with Marty, who's played with Marty. I know a Dominican guy who,
Really?
yeah, his father was a attaché living in a consulate in embassy from Dominican in Washington. So he was living there his whole childhood in a way. And he met Marty, they played together. So he gave me a quite different introspect in Marty's life. So I was
Mm,
watching a movie more out of, okay, what did they do now? What did they
mm,
create?
mm.
And but yeah, I like movies. I like watching movies. But in general, Even Forrest Gump, if you remember playing table tennis.
That's right. That's right. I forgot. That's right.
Yeah, I prefer living it. I prefer playing it, even watching some matches like that in live.
Hmm. Do you still play?
Uh, yes and no. I haven't played it like I played maybe in 13 years. I played maybe twice or three times, but then last year I sort of got the itch, and last
Wow.
year I started playing back again almost weekly. And then in September and October last year, I played it 2, 3, 4 times per week. Got back again, but I have an injury. I have a hip wear down, chronic injury, so I cannot do certain things. But I enjoy how I play now
Hmm.
because it's a completely different experience. I'm way more rational, predictive,
Hmm.
anticipative.
Hmm.
I just enjoy how I swing. It's like nostalgic. And in the other way, I'm playing like I would be playing if I knew what I know now, but I cannot move as much anymore, or as
Hmm.
I'm not as agile. And
As you
yeah,
were. Do you does playing table tennis make you have more I played too as a kid. I loved it, but does it make you have more of appreciation, do you think, for the other paddle sports, tennis, padel? Of course, here in the States, the whole
pickleball.
pickleball, it just slipped my mind. Yeah. Does it make you appreciate those at all more?
I think if you are active or yeah, an active athlete in any sport, and you're on the side of the lower ego and more awareness, you can
Mm.
appreciate anything. Also, in general, working, I was working a lot with moms, like 15 years with a lot of ladies, and you begin to appreciate what does it involve all to be a mom, full-time mom, in that sense. And so yeah, it's any sport. I think it can give you a lot of introspect and discipline and understanding in general, I think.
You mentioned your hip injury. I heard you say that it ended up being a blessing for you.
Not at first, but I think that every human being has a hero's journey.
Yeah.
Not a lot of them come out of it. Not a lot of people write books or start a podcast.
Mm.
Although you might think so that if you get banged on the head or on a hip or on your stomach or
Mm.
you get cancer, that would be a wake-up call. Sadly, that's not what happens worldwide. A lot of people, yeah, they wither away or they still are drifted even after they are healed, maybe in some
Mm.
way. But in my case, I could, because I always felt something will happen to me. For instance, I was a teenager and I was walking in our house from our bathroom to my room, like with my eyes closed. What if I'm blind? I was
Hmm.
preparing myself. I had that kind of control freakishness.
Wow.
Or then, like I was using the other hand, what if I'm amputated? Like I had all these crazy ideas and I allowed
Mm.
them to flourish a bit. But and then I was already adult, and I was thinking something bad will happen to you. You'll see. And even after I had the hip injury, I was still thinking something bad will happen to you. I'm like, finally, I realized it already did. Isn't this
Mm.
enough? Can't you learn from
Mm.
this shit situation? Sorry for the
Mm.
language. Can't you just wake up? And I sort of started connecting the dots, seeing who I was, what was my demeanor, my behavior that brought me to this wearing down of my
Mm.
cartilage. Because if
Mm.
anything happens to you physically, it takes time. Even an accident, it's already pre-described years ago, decades ago, maybe, that you're headed there if you do not change certain
Mm.
mentality. And I could rewire and like what's that? Go back retrospectively who I was that enabled me to abuse my body as much physically, who I was mentally, emotionally. So I started working on that as I did before. I was already meditating for almost 10 years, and
Wow.
yet somewhere 8 years, yeah, yet this has happened to me. And I was angry and I was frustrated and I became depressed even because you cannot move. If you move, it's painful. And if you don't move, it's painful. And if you're not moving and you're depressed, you're a nuisance to anyone around you. So I was in a deep hole, which slowly I started climbing out of. That started in 2018, end of it, 19, 20. Then I already came out, but 21 yeah, a couple 5 years ago, it started more evidently that I found the right tool. It is clinical somatics. It is understanding the nervous system. And I've actually already prepared a lot of my knowledge, my education priorly, so that what I learned from clinical somatics and nervous system regulation just was on top of it, and it all combined. Like it enabled me to finally break through personally and business wise as well.
So you were living with this chronic pain for a long time. You say you slowly came out of it. Was there one particular instance, or did something happen to make that jump more rapid?
um, I'd say jumps, and it's not
Ah.
rapid because you go to in a relationship, you behave in a certain way, and then after 15 years, you divorce, or 20. It may be the story. The same way is in physical aspect. It's not like you get worse or you have gray hair over the night. It can happen, but it needs to be a stressful or some traumatic event. And I'd say that I was living in a certain way that I was destined to have this pain, which was also this injury as a consequence of my appendix surgery.
Ah.
That was back in 1988 when I was 6 years of age. And a lot of people that have appendix surgery, they have a big scar, big incision. At least that was done like that so
Right.
much time ago. And they cut the fascia, they cut all the tissue that then sort of cuts the cable. And you don't get the message from your parts of the body, which you then start abusing too much. So I would say it's a chain of events. And then when you start going, um, like I had an epiphany on financial wise because I was going very well financially end of 2010, in the first 10 years of 2000s, and then 11 and then 12 I started going downward, and I was really low financially, and I was thinking, oh my god, a couple of years ago I was on top financially and now I'm lower than the bottom. If I created the plus and I created the minus, it's me who's responsible for that.
Mm.
So how can I do that? And then I just redid that on the physical aspect of my body and emotional. I wasn't only connected with finances anymore or the financial, the abundance aspect of life, but holistically looking at it. So I was doing a lot of steps that were small jumps maybe, and chain of events in the other direction. The positive one, the more healing one happened through time.
Looking at it now, you're dealing with that chronic pain for a long time. You also talk to others about dealing with it. What are some things people should know about it?
To slow down because
Yeah.
pain happens, or any, like your situation, your issues that you dealt with, it's all to slow us down as we are, whether it's emotional, mental, or whatever, physical, workaholic, or whatever. Just freeze, don't breathe, stop, because something has happened because you weren't paying attention. So now you're paying the price. That's what I say to everyone. And of course, I dilute it or dose it in the right amount appropriate to the individual that I'm talking to. Because I had a lot of mentors in my life, and I was obnoxious. I was arrogant. I didn't listen. I didn't pay attention. Like I mentioned, from the childhood, I was on my own. My parents were working a lot. I found my ways. I was hiding a lot of things as a child. So, I was living like that as an adult until you realize you're not a child anymore, and everything you do is a price to pay. So be responsible, start being more mature, start solving more stuff than creating shit, that kind of way. Like you did that the same way, you also had an epiphany or some moments that brought you in a different direction, that you did different choices.
You study human behavior for a long time, and what do most people still don't understand about themselves?
How connected everything is. I think it's too much of conscious, and nowadays even also with AI, and before already with Google and all the information access, it's too much of conscious understanding, but no subconscious doing or being, especially. A lot of people, I talk to parents now, work mainly now with parents of athletes and with athletes, of course, young athletes. And it's a lot of, I know this shouldn't be like that. This is just emotions. This is just a game. Why is she like that? Why does he behave like that? Why does this happen? It's too much. I know consciously, and I look at it like very much from this technical point of view, but I don't get it. Well, you don't get it because subconsciousness is 90 or 95%. And until you dive deep into your shadows and your subconsciousness, until you do not become conscious of your patterns, you're just gonna be reliving and reaffirming them. So this is what a lot of people do not get, and they read books, they listen to podcasts, and they stay on this conscious level, which is only 5% or 10%, even if I'm exaggerating. Life is hidden somewhere else.
This is purely anecdotal, Jure, and indulge me if you will. When I talk to friends, colleagues, coworkers, I find they get stuck in one or more of these three ways. One is just trying to control things they can't control. Right?
Yeah.
Two is the whole holding off on happiness until something happens. I'll be happy when I get the raise, or if they treat me this way, or, kind of holding off on it when it's completely under your control. And then third, again, this is anecdotal. This is my three, living either too far in the past. This happened to me then, so that's the way I am now, or this is going to happen in the future, so I better do this now. Purely anecdotal, but I just find these patterns happening. Thoughts?
It's not only anecdotal. Thank you for sharing and putting it in this way together, emphasizing it or neatly. This is essential. This is what I encounter as well in working with myself and with clients. I've been a coach almost 20 years already. As I've studied, you mentioned, I still study human behavior. I still observe. This is my default. This is how I'm wired. So I encounter these patterns as well in different shapes or forms, in different manifestations of reality. And the thing is always, blaming, being a victim, and on the other side, being a narcissist or egomaniac, psychosis, depression, or, having excuses. But in the end of the day, if and when you're like put in front of a wall, if we're specific, and it doesn't have to be a wall that partisans or Nazis encountered, if we're as spy movies like, it's a wall of life that you just cannot climb over, or there's no exit. And then you're either faced with yourself, or you blind yourself and you continue living blindly. And you continue having these excuses. But sooner or later, even if it's on your deathbed, that you do realize, then it's already very late or too late. At least you can, if you can. Some people do share, some take their knowledge and wisdom with them, sadly. But I prefer to trial and error before, to be vulnerable before, to look at the wall and maybe see a doorknob, maybe see a window there. Maybe you don't need to go over it or through it. You can go around it in some way, but you do need to go to the other side. You do need to confront what that wall represents. It can be chains. I've had visions and rituals and Reiki sessions of chains that I was on the bottom of the ocean, chained down to a big metal block, that I was puking black stuff. I've done a lot of things, and it all comes down to, are you willing to endure discomfort, not go out of the comfort zone? How long and how and who are you in the discomfort? Can you stay yourself? Or I love that one guy said, it's now viral as well, video. Are you kind in your home? Not kind to strangers, but kind in your home, where you are intimacy, where you are stripped naked, where everybody knows your details. Are you kind there? And are you kind to yourself? And I've gone through all of this stuff. I was not kind to myself, not even kind to the people near me that are kind to me. And that's a difficult pillow to swallow. It's not comfortable, but this is where Grand Slam, this is where life, this is where abundance hides, in this discomfort, in this, like in the, what's that, Slumdog Millionaire movie, the guy that fell in the shit. This is where it hides. You can't avoid it, but eventually you'll meet yourself, your own ego. Eventually you'll meet that wall yourself. So
You
stop blinding your.
Yeah, you mentioned tapping into your subconscious. How does one do that? How does one find what's going on there? How does one try to recognize patterns that they have?
Excellent question. Because not everyone likes the answer. Like I said before, slowing down.
Yeah.
If you don't slow down, the life will slow you down. Whether it's health, relationship, money, all these three areas that are so important in life, eventually it slows us down. And then when you slow down, you start seeing the patterns. It can be clinical somatics, which I do advise. It's slow movement, adapted version clinical somatics, not as it was maybe 50 years or 70 years ago when it was invented or in some way, but slowing down, observing your shoulders. If one is moving differently than the other, that's already giving you a feedback and information. If you slow down when you drive, if you slow down when you eat, if you slow down in a restaurant, slow down and look at why you're complaining against the waiter again. What's the waiter got with your problems? Why are you, putting it out on him or her? Slowing down in family. And with I don't have a cell phone now here. I even forgot it. Thankfully, I forgot my cell phone. That's good to forget the cell phone somewhere. But putting it away and just being with your discomfort, being with that nasty, ugly, bad feeling that your mother-in-law or that your son is stirring up inside of you. Just be with that and express it. Nobody wants to be there anymore. And then we're asking, why is this consequence? Why does the World Health Organization have more and more diagnoses of diseases? Well, we're compressing the body, contracting it. What do you think? The body, like a car, if you drive the car bad, even a Mercedes-Benz will have a lot of issues, and they will be scratching their heads, the Mercedes technicians. How could you manage to pull out this tube? Yeah, well, if you drive it badly, it's going to go south. So slowing down, noticing the patterns, confronting, writing all the time, writing notes, writing, putting it out there, expressing. I use AI now, not to give me something, but I use AI to give me feedback that no psychiatrist or psychologist will give me, because no one will read my scriptures of years back. I just digitalize them, I put them in the AI and say, put out the patterns. In a matter of seconds, I have all the patterns that I'm aware of, but I don't want to be aware of them, out. So I use it as a tool daily. I don't care. Anyway, everyone is surveillance around us. So if I put something in AI, whatever, I put it all in. They might use it in court against me. So if they will use it, they will use anything if I will be on the court any day soon or anytime or whatever. God forbid that I'm good enough. But in that sense, slowing down, confronting, observing, like our dads or grandparents, they were just sitting. What are you doing? Nothing. I'm sitting here. I'm on a porch. I'm observing life, the neighbors. I'm drinking, sipping my coffee, my tea, smoking a cigar. That kind of life that is forgotten. And all this stressful life is just detaching us from our bodies. This is how we create different chronic issues, detaching us in relationship. This is how we create chronic divorces.
What if discipline wasn't about punishment, but about unlocking your best self? I spent 2.5 years writing Discipline for Greatness because discipline changed my life. And I know it can change yours too. This isn't theory. Inside, you'll find real, practical steps you can use immediately to focus better, build stronger habits, reduce stress, accomplish your goals, and bring more balance to your life. Whether you're trying to get healthier, improve your career, or simply feel more control, this book gives you the framework. Start today. Grab your copy of Discipline for Greatness at joeypinz.com/book. Thank you. What did going to Punta Cana, moving there, what did that teach you about slowing down?
Have you been to Dominican Republic?
I have once, yeah. Loved it.
It's an island. It's an island Caribbean culture that lacks certain education culturally, that lacks a certain perspective, but what they lack in is on the other side, they compensate with tranquilo, take it easy, tomorrow, living the life now. That does hurt them sometimes because they drink today and eat today like there's no tomorrow and spend money today like there's no tomorrow. They trash out the garbage like there's no tomorrow, but they live now. They are here. They have a weekend from Thursday to Monday. They know how to. They have a holiday, national holiday on a Wednesday, and in their constitution they can put it to Monday or to Friday, so they have a longer weekend. It's that approach. They live on an island and they think that they're the center of attention. Everybody comes to them. There are people that most of them never left the country, never left the island. Wow. And everybody comes here. So like, we must be good. Like, you're a bit oblivious, a bit ignorant, but
interesting.
Ignorance sometimes is bliss to a certain point, of course. So if you come from Europe, like I am, from a very German-like country, Slovenia, with roots in Balkans and roots in German mentality. It's crazy mixture, small mentality, small-mindedness. Everything is, I farted in eastern part of the country, and everybody in the western part that's 300 or 200 miles away knew about it.
Wow.
So when you come to a country like this, like Dominican, you bring a lot of baggage, and you also bring a lot of knowledge, which is an advantage if you know how to put it in the system and know how to flow with it. I cannot fight with this current. People don't respect here rules. They don't respect agreements. So you just need to learn to be with it.
Wow.
I go to a shop and they want to scam me, but I scammed them before scam. Like I triggered them before, and they say, "Oh, you're a tiger," and I say, "Well, I learned from the best. I lived here for 12 years. I gotta be, otherwise you're gonna rip me off my clothes. So I need to do something differently."
Wow.
So it has taught me how to step back, how to enjoy the ocean, how to just look at the palm trees. And I've done thousands, like 100,000 photos and videos in these 12 years. But maybe 10 of them are from inside the ocean, like chest deep and looking at the palm trees. I always cherish those photos, and I say, if you want to have this view, you need to come here. Wow. I will not share this view. So it does teach you to appreciate life, nature, sun itself, music, rhythm of life, the flow. It does give a lot of flavor to life. That you cannot get in Europe, because with my wife, she's also Slovenian. We travel to our country, and mainly over the summer, of course.
Yeah.
We're avoiding the winter, but it gives you a different kind of introspect. Europe is a beast.
Yes. Yeah, it's much like the States. It can eat you up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could just kind of consume you and not let you find your own self.
Drains you, drags you into certain agendas, channels.
What does living consciously mean to you?
I have a group now, like a couple of families, 5-6 families, and their children playing tennis on a high level. That is like junior, under 12, under 16, under 18. And like a lot of times I hear, and also in the past I heard from my clients, well, if I'm conscious all the time on my breathing, if I'm conscious how I behave, that's so time, energy consuming, it's exhausting. And I say, well, try to be unconscious. Try to live. Let's see where that takes you, and where that has taken you, that you need to give time and money to me, that I teach you how to be conscious. Why are you here? So you put it on a scale. What's better, to just live? Let's live, whatever. Or be conscious how you breathe, what's your posture like, how you eat, what's your demeanor, what's your emotion, how you express. Yeah, well, this is so overwhelming. Yeah, well, isn't being sick overwhelming? Isn't having issues because you're blind in front of a wall and that you don't want to see, isn't that overwhelming? Isn't being in pain, because pain teaches you to be present. Issues teach you to be present and conscious. So, you know that saying, that quote, choose your heart. So that's what conscious means. Being present. And it's in layers. It's a spiral. It's not consistent. It's not a flat surface. It's not Kansas. It's up and down. It's layers. Sometimes you're in Dante Alighieri in the cycles of hell. Sometimes you're closer to heaven. And when you realize that's life, then you learn to appreciate the colors and all the specters of life. So that's, I think, because I was a very much ego by the book driven person, because I understood if I behave, if I do like that, I'm going to be successful. And nothing that's in this form or way that's in conflict can be inside. That's exhausting, to control life like that. I cannot be sad. I cannot think negative. I cannot do that. Of course, exactly that's going to happen to you because you're avoiding.
How do you know when your nervous system is overloaded? Jure? How does one know? What are some signs?
Heart palpitation, lack of breath, lack of air, your what's this, eyelid twitching,
flitter,
doing, you're frowning your forehead, tension in your jaw, tooth problems, shoulders, neck pain. We say Hexenschuss in German. It's like your neck is, that's all tension. That's all tension that's been stored, and it just comes out in the knee, in the hip, in the tooth, in relationship, in your wallet, in your bank account. You can see it. And then people might react, well, then I'm effed up. Yeah, we could say that the whole world is a bit effed up. Not a lot of people are not. So how are you dealing with this? How are you living in this chaos? How are you accepting it? How are you managing these colors of life? So noticing all these small details. Traditional Chinese medicine has this. Just look at your tongue, your eyelids, your heartbeat, your nails, physical signs. You have physical, you have emotion signs, emotional outbursts or triggers. Now, I prefer sleeping. I adore napping, to have a nap. Sleeping is the best recovery. But if you can relax, because if you go to bed and you're tense, you wake up tense. You need to know how to be relaxed. And when you're relaxed, then anything can help. And if you're tense, then even the best doctors cannot help.
You mentioned slowing down to remedy this a lot. Is that also including kind of simplifying as well?
Yeah, minimalism. Yeah, of course. Decluttering, defragmenting. A lot of that, yes. Slowing down in the sense of something crossed my mind. Well, it will come back.
Yeah, simplifying, minimalism. Yeah, just taking out distractions.
Yeah.
So what are some of the hardest internal battles that you've had that people don't see that some might learn from?
I think a lot of there's types of people. Some are thinkers, some are completely phlegmatic, whatever. And some are workaholics. I was all in some way, some areas more, some less, but I was overthinker. I was too much in my head. And clinical somatics and nervous system regulation, slowing down brings you down to your body, because the body is 95%. You might equate it with subconsciousness. It's your hard drive. It's your working processor. The brain is just the interpreter. If you're just in the brain, like Homo cerebrum that we've become instead of Homo sapiens, it's a big issue that you just don't find ends meet. Even if you have everything, a lot of people are completely destroying their lives. I was doing the same way. I had a good life, but I made it difficult. I made it complicated because it wasn't complicated enough. You see how like crazy children do that.
Wow.
They are winning a match in whatever sport, or they have the best iPhone, but they need to break it. It's like the subconsciousness, when you have all these triggers that you're not aware of, or you have all these energies that you're not able to process and express, you suppress, or you distort even with interpretation. Then things break. Then life shows you that something is not aligned and it's not in the flow. So yeah, I've had struggles wanting to be in the flow, and I read a book. I went on a table tennis competition and I won it. And I'm like, this is it. I got it. I still have goosebumps. Yeah. But then I was losing next 3 months because I forgot about the book or the essence. So yeah, we are attached to outcomes. I still am struggling or getting out of this attachment to outcome. I sit in a car and I need to be somewhere in 20 minutes. Well, you will be. Maybe in 21, maybe in 19, but you will be. Not certainly. Who knows what happens on the road, but pay attention. Don't worry about the outcome. The outcome will happen. How you are going, you know that the journey is the goal. Who you are, how you are on the journey. I was a mad person on the journey, in the road, in my life, in my relationships, in my intimacy, in my food, in my sport. I was a madman a lot of times, maybe not showing it on the outside, but people saw me. They saw my grumpy, I have this here on my, in the middle of my eyebrows. I was always frowning. I was always like this. People told me, are you angry now? Or no, I'm just pissed off. I'm not angry. So kind of like, so it was a lot of that. I was, 30 years in wasting down my cartilage, slowly, wasting it down in my hip. Had huge headaches a couple of years ago, like headaches that were for hours long or days. Not even, I couldn't say migraines. It was something else, like throbbing, like pain. And I didn't take a medicine. I said, you created it, now you endure it. Stay with it. But you need to be a bit crazy to do that. Not everyone's built like that.
Yeah.
So physical pain, emotional pains. I said things that I still feel shame about. But if I look back, I understand who I was, and why I said it. It's also, the other side needed to live that. We were playing both games. It's not only me. I'm not taking all the responsibility. I need to alleviate myself a bit. So yeah, in that sense, like I mentioned already, financial stupid things that I did, or choices, or believing, not that people scammed me. I believed in myself, and I didn't read the disclaimer or the small print, or I didn't, take the time. I just felt, yeah, of course we're gonna do this. Come on, like that American mentality. If I put a bit of label on Americans, let's go. And then you're like, what? Where did I go? What? Right. What now?
Let's go more.
So yeah. And then you continue the same way until you're like, no, can I just please stop? Can I just do something different? Just disrupt. Don't do it again. But this is the only thing I know. The only way I know. You don't. Just do differently. And then you stop. And then I didn't work for a year. I didn't earn for a year, basically, in a way. I risked it all. But I needed to get ready to be able to risk it all. I needed to be ready to stop and slow down everything. Also, that takes time. It's always in layers. And people say, when it will finally stop, and when it will finally everything be okay. Yeah, when you're in your casket, or in your basket going downwards. Then until then, it's life. You arrange something. Some people have issues, problems that they don't have 1,000 podcast listeners. Some people have 1 million listeners. It's always a problem. You're always going to have a problem. So that's life.
So, if we go back 10 years, if we go just back 10 years from now, what's something that you firmly believed in then that you no longer believe now?
Meditation, passive meditation, that might work for some people. For majority, no, because it's passive. A lot of people have gotten depressed because of just passively meditating and stopping down their thoughts. You need, our brain, our nervous system is built for survival and to be occupied. That's biology, anatomy fact. I didn't invent this. It's not anecdotal. We need to be occupied. I have a friend, she studied in Berkeley neuroscience. Our brain needs to have something to work on. It's a monkey brain. So how do you use this? How do you use this tool? Then I believed in, being a vegan. I'm not a vegan anymore. A couple of years ago, I went to Argentina and I knew that traveling to Argentina is not going to be good to be a vegan. So either you're going to start eating beef again. I eat only beef mainly. I don't eat every day, because as a child I was eating meat 3 times per day in all forms and every meat. Now it's beef maybe twice per week or something, here or there. So I believed in that. I believed in principles, in written in stone things, beliefs. Oh my God, was my life shattered in not bits and pieces, in defragmented in fragments and fractals.
Wow.
So a lot of, I've changed so much in 10 years that I don't even, just yesterday I was thinking like, do you remember, Jure, who you were? Just yesterday this thought crossed me that you asked me now. And it's like 10 years ago I would be like, oh, I've changed, I've this. I would still have certain proud aspect to it. Now I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm living, I'm here, so whatever. I've changed. Okay, continue. What next? What's the flow? How do I feel? How can I make others feel? I love the Maya Angelou. That's it. I had a lot of instinct, intellect, and intuitive knowledge. A lot of it. A lot of conscious knowledge. But I was not living it like with the meat. I was not giving it a life. I was not putting it in action. I knew a lot of things. I was smart as to a lot of people. People paid me to be their smart ass. Now I'm more quiet. Although now it might not seem, I talk a lot. But for myself, I'm more quiet and I'm more observant. And all these beliefs and all these principles are shattered. And I just don't know. I just stopped doing that. Not worth it.
Is there a question you wished more people asked you?
Instead of what's wrong with me, why is this happening, or what can I do, or how fast will I change, or how much time I want to be there, and then everything, like you said, will be good. Then I will be happy. I wish more people would just say, Jure, can you just look me in the eye? Can you just slow down with me? Can you just transfer some of your wisdom in a very non-verbal, non-expressive way? Can I align with you? Not with me. It's not that I encountered Mars or water on planet Earth. It's just that my experiences and certain approach has given me big changes. Also becoming a dad quite soon, in a matter of weeks, that I could not imagine 10 years ago. I didn't even know if I wanted to be a dad. It was more of a desire and a reproductive need, and I wouldn't be able to handle. Not the pregnancy, not the after what's coming, because I would lose my mind overthinking and over scenarios and calculating everything, being control free. So that people would ask me, that they would come more vulnerable, because people still have, if they have issues, of course they're not vulnerable, and of course they're hiding their issues. They don't want to open themselves up in that way and express and say, I have an issue. They just, mumble jumble around something, and I need to poke and poke and poke. And after an hour, they finally start crying a bit, and they say, well, because, and then I'm like, oh my God, finally. Or I notice that someone's having this sigh moment. and they don't even notice it. I'm like, ooh. If they would ask me, can you produce a sigh moment for me? Like that sigh of relief.
Sigh moment.
Yeah, that's what I would like in my clients and in my life more of. I produce it. It's a challenge for me. It's my spy movie. I'm a spy in this programs and patterns of people. I read between the lines. I notice.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I started my I think I'm a little bit older, but I started my business in the 90s, right? And I was working way too hard, like you just said. I just was not pulling over. I was just go, go, go. It was 14, 16-hour days. And I was in my 20s. I felt I was indestructible and I wasn't exercising anymore. I wasn't playing any soccer or baseball or anything. And developing bad diet habits. So the next thing I know, I'm in front of the doctor and she tells me I'm at 340 pounds. So I had gained all this terrible amount of weight. And she says to me, if you don't lose this weight, you're not going to see your daughter graduate. And so that scared the life out of me and made me change everything. It was her way of making me slow down, wasn't it? And I spent the next 6, 7 months, lost about 120 pounds. You alluded to this earlier. And then when people ask me how'd you do it? I always say discipline, right? Focus, motivation, routine. How does discipline play a role in your life, Jure Koscak?
Uh, like anything in life. Do you hear me? Because I think it's a bit of
No,
internet connection.
no,
You don't
no
hear
problem.
me?
I hear you. I hear you just fine.
Okay,
No
okay.
problem.
Like anything in life, whether it's flow, being in the zone, discipline, endurance, what else do people have, like, that are praising? I'm not saying that you're praising just discipline, but it's just one terminology or just one side of the story, or praying even. Anything in life that you do, of course, you need to commit. You need to have big pain enough big of a pain that produces a change. Change happens, like Tony Robbins, whoever said it, when the pain of not changing is bigger than the pain of changing. Until then, when the pain of staying the same is good, you're not going to change, because that change is too, it's not big pain enough in that say. Yeah, not too much. Yeah, not too much, but too little. So when because I started with discipline. I heard, yeah, you are an athlete, you need to be disciplined.
Mm.
And then I forced myself to be disciplined. But immediately when you're forcing, you're in contraction, you're in survival threat mode, you're in sympathetic. So whoever is doing discipline and it's just imposing themselves under rigid, strict rules, it's not going to cut the chase. Even if it's the best approach, discipline. First, you need to teach your mind, your nervous system, your body that you're not in survival mode. And then you can use whichever. That's why methods function, whichever method. It may be discipline, it may be the flow, it may be the one, it may be the Bible, it may be this church or that thing or this coach, because you finally feel safe. You finally feel at home. You finally feel that you have space to be, even sick, fat, lost, confused, broke, whatever, divorced. And when you feel safe, then is when the change starts happening. Because I was forcing to be disciplined, and I love discipline. I love order. Discipline for me is having things in order. I love, and when I see my wife, she's not as in order, maybe in some things, always the opposites a bit attract. She's just the other side of the coin. I needed to be less disciplined because I was a nagging disciplined person in order. And that's not good. You're disciplined, but you're nagging. You're frustrated. And you're frustrating everyone around you. And I love that Maya Angelou saying, it's not who you are, but it's how you make other people feel around you. And it's not with people pleasing. It's with you being a good person. Like literally, sometimes you also have to say no. And they will feel bad, but eventually they will be like, oh my God, thank you for saying no to me. So in that kind of way, I see discipline as a part of a puzzle, a bigger puzzle, and it all needs to be set up that your nervous system is able to withstand the discomfort of discipline, because this discipline can be discomfort. It's easier to not be disciplined It's easier to eat chips. It's easier to just lie down on a sofa. I've done that. It's easier to not train. I've done that. It's easier to smoke. It's easier to drink. It's eat alcohol. It's easier. But having a discipline, maintaining it, and not feeling under threat, that's why a lot of people collapse. Big performers, also disciplined performers, whether it's business, whether it's show business, sport, they are disciplined and they are in order, but they collapse eventually. A lot of them are in drugs, not only pharmaceutical, but also recreational drugs. So in that kind of sense, I feel that there's a layer necessary, or in the process that people start understanding I can be disciplined and in order if it's not putting more strain on me, in that sense that it's making me more contracted. I need to have that balance between contraction and total expansion, total relaxation. There's someone in between where we are pulsating, where we are, functioning, pulsating, yeah, vibrating.
As a kid, was discipline talked about in your household? Was it kind of exemplified? How was it viewed then?
I come from Yugoslavia. I was born in the beginning of 80s. It was a communist socialist country and it was abundance. We had a leader like that provided abundance in a way as well. We were connected to the east and to the west. So I'm just giving a background check on the cultural shifts and cultural influences on me. And of course, work was respected. Enduring pain was respected and actually applauded. It still is in some way. Helping others, of course, the society. So all of this is deeply ingrained in me through different, rituals, different educational patterns and events, sport and national events that were in the 80s, and then forward on when we were a young country of Slovenia. By the way, Slovenia is the only country that has love in the name of it. Slovenia, love.
Aw.
So I always like to mention that. So my upbringing or my discipline was in the sense, yeah, you need to work. You cannot just be lazy. And not that my parents had anything bad to say or demonstrate. They were just working. They were workaholics in a way. We didn't know how to be without a TV, or we had fun. We knew how to be without a TV, but it needed to be a party. Like mom was cooking a lot and hosting a lot of people. But it was always action, always something, moving. Rarely it was like nowadays, my mom says, I'm doing nothing and I'm doing it slowly. It's nowadays that she's learned in the last couple of maybe years or decade that she started understanding more to not work as much or not be in drive all the time. So discipline was portrayed and triggered through those kind of channels, working, active, helping. I felt guilt. I was watching TV and my dad was working downstairs in his workshop, and my mom my dad was a tapestry. He was doing sofas and a lot of tapestry, and my mom was a dressmaker. So they were working all the day. My dad came from the job and he continued working, or he was doing something around the house, and I was watching TV. I felt guilty. I was watching Seinfeld, but I was exhausted. I had school from 7 a.m. till 2 p.m. Then I had table tennis class. Then I did homework. Then I was cooking or cleaning at home. Then I was exhausted. Then I had another table tennis practice from 7 to 9 p.m. So it was all day, every day. And in weekdays and weekends, it was competition. I didn't have days off. I had a mental breakdown when I was 15 because I had 2-3 summers without a break. Wow. Always just playing and competing on different levels. So in that kind of way, I had that's also a good question, because this is how I got the discipline ingrained, and that's why it's important to talk and to express what's the meaning behind. That's why when I talk to people, what do you mean by that? What does it mean for you? Because you come from a different cultural background, different settings, so you understand it differently.
I want to ask, I got to know you over the last hour or so, but how often, it's a science versus art question for you. I see there's a lot of data, but you have to slow down. You teach people how to slow down. You slow down yourself. How often do you rely on your gut to make decisions?
I just didn't get the first part of the question. Science versus
art.
art.
Yes. So in other words, raw data versus your gut. When you're making decisions, are you getting data? Are you asking your gut in the beginning or the end? Are you not asking it at all? How much data to use? When you run your life, how much of it is art and how much of it is science?
Great. I like this approach or question. Like I mentioned, I was a very extremist kind of guy. I wanted to be only gut or only science, if I'm very rigid. Yeah, and then slowly I started shaping and combining and molding them together. It's the best of the both worlds. We cannot just have alternative medicine, as we cannot just have this crazy science approach, pharmaceutical medicine. It needs to be working hand in hand. We cannot have, it's a union. It's where we are going. It's the age of Aquarius. It's the age of a woman. It's the age of connecting the female and male. It's not one thing is prevalent. It can be in some cases, but it's always the other one in the secondary, not predominant stage in the background. So I work hand in hand. Some days I'm more gut, intuitive, some periods even. Some days I need data, I need that. It's depending. Even men have cycles. Although they are more daily, women have a 28-day cycle, hormonal and so on. And then, of course, different after menopause. But I think it has to go work hand in hand. It's connected, taking the best out of the both.
What motivates you, Jure, now?
Life, being alive. I ask myself the same question. What am I doing? Why am I alive? What's my purpose? Do I want to live? Not in the sense of, suicidal or anything, but in the sense of, like, sometimes I'm asking myself, what if aliens are watching and they are not familiar with this planet or with this way of life? What would they think? There's a person playing tennis and then elevating a trophy. I'm thinking like with a blank mind, of an alien. And it's like, what? Why? Like I'm trying to find that really raw purpose. The same with me. So what motivates me is this raw purpose connected to the essence of life. Searching this, studying this, connecting, like I mentioned, interdisciplinary, molding, combining. This is what drives me, what inspires me, what moves me and touches me, and this is what I share forward.
Want to show your love for discipline, inspiration, and the Joey Pinz podcast? Now's your chance. Introducing the brand new Joey Pinz merch store, where style meets discipline. Choose from premium apparel, cozy hoodies, stylish hats, durable bags, and your new favorite coffee mug, all featuring the iconic Joey Pinz logo. Perfect for podcast fans, discipline enthusiasts, or as unique gifts for friends and family. Every purchase supports the Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations podcast, helping us continue to inspire greatness and promote positive change. Visit joeypinz.com/store today and wear your discipline proudly. Joey Pinz merch. Wear it, share it, and live it. You didn't say it, but curiosity, learning?
Yeah, I think it's a part of it. Yeah, of course I'm curious, but it's maybe so much ingrained that it's so obvious that I don't even, express it as in this way. Yeah.
So given that motivation of life, of purpose, of curiosity, of learning, how do you measure success? You're right.
Amazing question. I always wanted to write journals, and I've written them. When I was 11 years old, I've written 5 pages, and then I stopped for months or maybe years. And then when I was 13 or 15 or 16, I've written pages for a while and then stopped. Now I'm writing a journal for a year and a half every day, even if it's just what I ate or what happened. But most of the days I have some insights. So what was the question?
How do you measure success?
Success. Yeah. Success. Yeah, that's where I was going. And that's what I'm asking myself for. That's why I'm doing this retrospect daily, and using the AI as well to point me in the things that I don't see, or maybe that I'm too much overwhelmed yet still. And what I see as success is, am I becoming a better human being 0.1% daily? Am I, because this is learning, this is improving. You learn, you trial error phase, and then you improve. And this is how I see life, and this is my success. It's not measured in achieving a great one thing, because that great one thing, whether it's a trophy, whether it's money, whether it's relationship, it's a daily grind, daily hustle, if you like, daily discipline, daily putting in consistent steps. You reach the Santiago de Compostela after 800 kilometers of the northern coast of Spain, daily putting in kilometers. I haven't done it. A lot of friends have done. I've walked other things, just giving it as an example, and it's daily. Daily, well, this is success. Because a lot of people, for instance, I have clients ask me, athletes or business people, high performers, before certain match, before certain negotiation, before certain meeting. I'm afraid, I'm struggling, I'm blocked, I feel this, I'm anxiety. I'm like, stop. Why? What's in your mind that you're comparing the present and the result that you wish for? What is it in your mind, such a high level standard outcome that would represent success for you? And where are you now? Can we take that down and meet here? Your level of success or expectation, well, like I said, whether it's business or athlete or relationship or whatever, can we just see life as it is now, the reality? And this is success for me, because when you are present, when you're conscious, then you go out there on the field and you play. You play the game. You do that content. You're on the journey. You're not the hero. You maybe become the hero or not, but you're on the journey and you live it. And this is what I'm inspired in every movie or book I read or a movie I see. I'm inspired by the people that have found themselves, that they just live. And I'm like, oh, he's happy. He just lives. He doesn't need this or that kind of jewel or trophy or whatever event. It's good. It's nice to have diploma. It's nice to have a degree. It's nice to have trophies, but that's not the deal. That's not the grind. Daily steps. This is success.
It's wonderful. I was really excited when we set this up, Jure, and really glad we talked today. People watching or listening, how can they get in touch with you? Thanks so much for your time today.
I thank you for your time, Joey. Thank you for doing what you're doing, for being who you are, and that you've endured your discomfort and still are.
I look for, so TikTok, you're on, my goodness, you're on LinkedIn. I got you on YouTube and the podcast. How do you like doing the podcast?
I am accessible on social media, Genuine Athlete, JK. I have the genuineathlete.com page. I have a tool prepared. What's that word? A diagnostical tool,
Yes.
because people don't know who they are under pressure. So I have that ready, that you will probably share, so that you know, oh, I am this under pressure, because I think crucial moments of pressure determine our life. If we are not performing under pressure, then rest of the life, when we don't have pressure, is not as pleasant. It's not as successful, not as pleasurable. So I think this is also success for me. Who are you under pressure? And then you can handle more pressure. And when you handle more pressure, a lot of things can happen.
Yeah, sure can. Again, I thank you for your time, Jure. Next time I'm down there in Punta Cana, I hope to get together. We'll have a cup of tea.
Please, and a pina colada, no alcohol.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for listening and or viewing Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations. Please share this episode with one or two of your friends who you think may benefit from the episode. Our website, www.joeypins.com. There you'll find lots of resources and you could join our mailing list. Please follow us on all our social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Podcast information, the video version of our podcast is on YouTube. Please subscribe. Audio is on all major podcasting platforms. Please follow them. And if you like it, please consider giving 5-star rating. Would really appreciate that. Thank you again for listening or watching Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations.